Hello, my name is Alicia Young, and the book I hope you'll consider is currently called Visit from Heaven. It's not the book I set out to write. It's the one I felt compelled to share. And I say that not from a place of ego, but from a place of service for the comfort I'm told it brings others. Visit from Heaven recounts my OBE, or outer body experience, in which I went to the other side. It's an experience that I kept hidden for years because I feared it would end my career in journalism. It still might. While I was on the other side, I met the soul of a little boy called Bobby. But let me take a step back for a minute. I have a dear friend called Jane, and she and her husband are parents to gorgeous twins. In time, Jane found she was pregnant again, and they were both delighted. But this time, the pregnancy was marred by a series of complications, and in her second trimester, Jane miscarried. Months later, I had my outer body experience in which I met the soul of this little boy, Bobby. Bobby was Jane's son. Bobby was lovingly determined to send his grieving mother a message. I was no more than a go-between. He wanted to say to her, I love you, I'm nearby. I never really died, my energy changed form. It was an incredible experience, as you might imagine. While I was on the other side, I saw one of Bobby's soul plan sessions, a pre-birth soul plan session in which he chose his parents, his siblings, and even his birth order. I believe that the book has two main audiences. The first is any woman who has experienced either a miscarriage or a termination, no judgment, who often suffer in silence. The American Pregnancy Association says 1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage. Yet these women suffer silently through a stigma, through not feeling that they can really discuss it openly. The broader audience is the wider spiritual community who are fascinated by other people's experiences of the other side, whether it's through a spiritually transformative experience or a near-death experience, for example. I believe I'm the one to have written this book because it happened to me. I also drew on 25 years experience as a broadcast journalist to present it in a conversational manner. This is not an academic book. I ask people to read it from their heart space, not their head space. I also drew on my previous 5 books to make sure that I delivered something that made sense. I worked with my editor to present it in a way that instead of moving from start to finish in one go, which could be overwhelming for a reader, we made the decision to press the pause button often. This meant that the book is presented in a conversational way, but in small chunks, which are easy to digest. So I'll explain one part. I'll say this is what I saw, what I remembered, what I witnessed. And then the next part is how I reflected on that in the weeks and months and years since the experience. On another note, and I know that I have to address a few different things in this video, I understand that if I am chosen to become part of your publishing house, I bring with me a tremendous energy for the publicity tour. For example, years ago, if you remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger ran and won the gubernatorial race for California, I was in his party room that night when it happened. And if you recall, it was a tremendous story. It was the optics of the little tiny Gray Davis versus the Terminator. That night, I filed 68 live radio reports around the world. I will bring you that same energy and passion. Please consider Visit from Heaven. Thank you.